Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Brokers Traders Espresso with me, Darius Nonchauskas. Today is the 8th of May 2018. So we're going to have a quick look at the markets, what happened yesterday, what to expect from them today, what levels to watch out for. But as always, let's have a read through our risk disclaimer. So JFD Brokers offers exclusively consultancy-free services. The content of this webinar does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. I'll just give you a few seconds to read the rest and we can continue. Also, before we jump into the charts, quick reminder of our JFD research page here, which you can check out, and yeah, I think you can find something useful here. We do for our different technical analysis, trading shoutouts, more in-depth analysis on a daily basis. So yeah, guys, I think there is something useful for yourself here, and then you can find something here interesting. But for now, let's have a look at the charts. So the first one I want to look at is the S&P 500. Now we can see that yesterday we had not a busy day, let's say like that, and we just closed here slightly below the 50 EMA. We tried to overcome it, but still, nevertheless, it's closed below this one. For now, yes, the trend is now kind of to the upside. But to be honest, this short-term, like this little small trend, is still to the upside. We are keeping an eye on this area right here at around 26.95. A nice break above this could test this upper bound, upper side of the triangle formation that this index is within currently. So a nice break above the 26.95 could have opened the path towards this upper side of the triangle, and if we see a nice break here above this, well, it could open the path towards these higher levels. Now a good level to watch, the first good level of resistance to watch here would be this 27.20 area, approximately there, and if that doesn't hold, well, it could open the path towards this another key important level that we're watching here, this 27.55. Alternatively, if this upper side of the triangle will hold, or even actually this 26.95 area will hold, then we could maybe see a little bit of a retracement back to the downside, maybe even back towards this 200 EMA here shown on the daily chart, shown as a black line. Now, again, for now, we're just keeping away from this one, just putting this aside and observing it carefully. Let's have a look at DAX. Now, DAX had a nice strong move yesterday. We are not far from the psychological 13,000 level. We are keeping an eye on it. I mean, there is strong potential for this to get tested again. And if we do get a nice break above the 13,000, the psychological 13,000, then we could end up moving towards this area right here at around 13,300, guys. So watch out for this one. Watch out for this psychological 13,000 first. If we get a reversal here, a reversal back to the downside, then, well, of course, we do have this good level of support here at around 12,850. A break below that could push it towards the lower levels, or maybe even to test this bottom side of the rising channel that we can see here, drawn here. So there are some good levels to watch, guys. Watch out for the breaking areas. Let's have a look at the euro dollar. So the euro dollar yesterday had a nice sell-off, moved towards the 119, 150 that I had highlighted here. Let's zoom in, yep, a little bit, and of course we broke it to the downside. We managed to kind of drop slightly below the 119 area, but then reversed back up and closed the day above the 119, 150. So currently we're trading just slightly below this downwards moving trend line here that started around the 19th of April. Certainly all eyes are on this right now. I mean, if we do get a nice pop here to the upside, maybe if we get a break here, break this downwards moving trend line, and we could potentially see maybe some higher levels again. So maybe we could make a move towards this, well, initially towards the 120 level, or and then maybe towards this 200 EMA here on the daily chart. So there are some, like I said, good areas to watch here on the upside. Certainly, it would be interesting to see a bit of recovery in this pair, as it has been already on a steep slide down for quite a while, as I've mentioned, since the 19th of April. So of course, but if this trend will continue to the downside, if we'll see another break here below the 119, 150, and then of course we'll start taking out the yesterday's lows, well guys, I mean, this is not looking good for the euro, and we could see some further declines. So for now, probably we'll stay a bit cautious for this one, on this one, and for this one to kind of, for us to consider a move higher, we need a nice break here above the downwards moving trend line. Let's have a look at the Euro GBP now. And Euro GBP, yesterday I was talking about this level here, about this 50 EMA, to keep an eye on it. And yep, now we can see that yesterday we managed to touch that one, but then retraced a little bit higher. But now we're actually back above, well, back on the 50 EMA. Now the question here is, of course, will we get a nice break here? If we do, and if we do get a break below the 50 EMA and we'll break the yesterday's low as well, we could end up moving towards this level right here at around 0.87600, approximately there. But if that doesn't hold, well, we do have this upwards moving support line here that started around the 17th of April. So we could eventually get a test of that support line if we, of course, if we do move below the 0.87600. If we bounce off of this 50 EMA here, watch out, we could potentially make a move back to the upside. I mean, even though still the trend is kind of still on the bigger picture, well, on the medium-term picture, let's say the trend is still to the upside, but on the bigger picture, we are in this slightly downwards moving channel here, and the pair keeps ranging here between the bounds of this channel. So for now, all eyes are on this right now, all eyes on this 50 EMA, and let's see if it holds or not. Let's have a look at Euro Swiss. Now, Euro Swiss, I was talking about this one yesterday, and I was talking about this upwards moving support line. We can see that the price is still kind of balancing on it right now, and still we are awaiting for a more clear direction signal, so from this pair. Now certainly, if we do get a nice bounce here off of this support line to the upside, watch out for the psychological 120 level. A break above that could send this pair a little bit higher again. But if this support line will start to break and we'll make a move towards the 118,900, approximately there, watch out for this area first, of course. If that doesn't hold, well, it is opening the path towards these lower levels here. So watch out for this, guys. Let's quickly have a look at GBP USD. Now, GBP USD is showing us some signs of recovery here now. And of course, at the moment, it looks like it wants to kind of break this downwards moving trend line here. And because we can see that it's bouncing off the 200 EMA nicely. And it's now, like I said, it's slightly above, kind of above this downwards moving trend line. So for now, I would say it's a bit of a tricky one. I would need to see a close on today's close and see where it closed. If it's going to close above this, then we're going to watch this level here, the 136, 150, approximately there. If we get a nice close above this downwards moving trend line, but still kind of below the 136, 150, then, well, we're still going to stay cautious. But if we're going to see a nice pop here, not only a close above the downwards moving trend line, but also above the 136, 150, well, then we could probably push away the downside for a bit, So we could then aim for the 137, 100 level. On the downside, we would need to see a close below the 200 EMA again, and of course below this downwards moving trend line in order to consider further declines, maybe even like a move towards this 134.55 area approximately there could be possible if we, like I said, I'll repeat myself, if we get a nice close below the 200 EMA and below this downwards moving trend line. Let's have a look at another one. Let's say USD JPY, a good one. We can see that yesterday it closed below this upwards moving, long-term upwards moving trend line that started in 2012, and now we are balancing on this bottom side of this channel formation. So at the moment, of course, all eyes are on this. If we see a nice break below, if we get a close here today below this this bottom side of the channel, and if we do get something like that, then well, be careful, because a break below the 108.550 could send this pair a little bit lower, maybe even towards the the round number of 108 or even 107.900 approximately there. So watch out for this one, guys. It is at an interesting spot. Let's have a look at the USD CAD now. So USD CAD is also building up something interesting here. Let's probably redraw this now a little bit so we can see that it is kind of forming this upwards moving support line, this almost 45 degrees upwards moving support line. And of course the question here is now, is this going to be like a good bouncing ground for it? If we get a nice break above the 129 area, well, this could potentially open the path towards this level right here, towards the 129.500. And if that doesn't hold, well, guess what? I mean, we are close to the psychological 130 level that acted as a good level of resistance here in March, and we could end up testing that area again if we, of course, see a nice move towards the 129.500 and eventually a break of that area. On the downside, certainly we need to see a break below this upwards moving support line in order to kind of consider further declines. If we do get a close here below this support line, then well, watch out for this round number of 128 that could act as an initial good level of support. But if we'll start breaking that level, then well, we could end up moving lower again and testing these previous lows here, these previous key support areas, support and resistance areas, to be honest. The good one to watch here is the 127.600. So one last pair, guys, that I want to have a look at is the NZD USD. Now it is kind of in an interesting spot here. It seems that it wants to start reversing here. Of course, we haven't got a full confirmation yet, because we would need to see a nice move above this area right here at around 0.7550 approximately there. If we do get a nice break above this, then well, it could potentially end up moving higher here. We could end up seeing this level right here at around 0.71 area approximately there, and if that doesn't hold, well, it is opening the path towards higher levels. So for now we are kind of staying cautious in this one, to be honest, because there is probably a 50% chance of it going higher and a 50% chance of it going lower. But nevertheless, I mean, we are kind of staying cautious, but we are keeping an eye on this higher level here at around 0.7550. On the downside, of course, we need to see a nice move here below the 0.70 area first, then start taking out the 0.69850, and then yep, it could end up pushing lower a little bit, maybe towards this the bottom side of this Bollinger Band. But for now, let's just keep an eye on these key levels and see if we get a nice break. Okay, guys, I will have to wrap it up here. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to join me later on today at my Traders Tea Time at 13:15 GMT time, 14:15 British Summer Time. Okay, guys, thank you very much and have a good day. Bye bye.